You're listening to Fast Facts Perio Edition. And now, here's your host, Katrina Sanders.
Hello, and welcome to Fast Facts Perio Edition. Hello, world. I am so excited because guess what? It is our 100th episode. And I thought there has to be something fun and fabulous that I have to do for my beloved audience who loves Fast Facts and particularly loves Perio. And so I thought for my 100th episode, I would celebrate it in style with my favorite periodontist. Now, I know what you're thinking. Katrina, you are not allowed to play favorites. I get it. And please don't let any of my doctors at AZ Perio know. But my favorite periodontist of all time is on the microphone with me, Dr. Mia Geisinger out of the University of Alabama. Perio department.
Katrina. Happy 100 episodes. Whoop, whoop.
Yay, 100th episode. I'm so excited. So for today's episode, I thought it would be so fun if you would share with our audience your favorite fact about Perio of all time.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, my favorite Perio fact and evidence that I am a terrible conversationalist at cocktail parties is that if you have not brushed your teeth in 24 hours, there are as many individual bacterium in your mouth as there are people on Earth. Over 8 billion with a B bacteria.
Billion with a B. How
billion
incredible.
With a B.
So wait, if you haven't brushed your teeth in 24 hours, you have
billion. More bacteria
than
in your mouth than people on Earth.
How incredible. That is how quickly they are populating.
So if you think about why periodontitis is such a difficult disease to treat, it's really that we're dealing with this dysbiosis and the bacteria in there in our mouth, which is like the Garden of Eden for bacteria.
Oh, yeah.
Are multiplying so quickly and creating a dysbiotic biofilm at such a rapid pace. We really require co-practitioners in our patients to make sure that they're doing their job. But also, we have to think about how we can alter that biofilm. And, the tooth is a really unique environment. It's the only place in the body where you have living hard tissue coming through an epithelial surface. So it is a very vulnerable place for all of those bacteria. And,
yes.
I'm in Alabama. I'm in the South. So your mama was right. Your mouth is dirty.
Your mouth is dirty mouth. Clean it up. So, and I love this. So I had the pleasure of seeing you speak a few weeks ago for our hygiene study club. And you said something that really resonated with me. And that was when you talked about how you were lecturing for, was it surgeons or cardiovascular doctors? I can't remember who was. And somebody raised their hand and they were like, well, if it's bacterial, can't you just give them an antibiotic? So what was your response when we talk about how quickly we're populating this microbiota? Why can't we just give our patients an antibiotic?
Well, for one, and everyone in dentistry knows this, it's not just the individual planktonic bacteria, it's that it's a biofilm. And, biofilms are becoming more recognized in medicine as well. I think I told this story also when I was lecturing to your group, but one of my best friends is a trauma surgeon. And he and I were talking, he works in Dallas, and he was saying, one of my biggest problems when we do joint replacement or we do an implant is that, if they get biofilm on them, you can't see the biofilm. And once that happens, you just have to take the implant out. And I was like, do you know what I do?
Like he's telling you, like, you don't know what biofilm is.
I don't get the luxury of being like, well, there's a little biofilm in there. I better take it out. And I certainly, am not operating under the illusion that because it's bacterial, I can just throw antibiotics at it.
Right.
One of the problems with antibiotics is you need about 1,000-fold concentration of the antibiotic to actually kill bacteria in the biofilm versus planktonic, because, those bacteria are protected. They have extracellular matrix. They have nutritional relationships with other bacteria in the biofilm. It becomes a city in and unto itself. So that's why we have to mechanically disrupt that biofilm and get in there with our toothbrushes and our floss and our interdental brushes and really get that stuff out of there.
Absolutely. I love that. And one of my favorite things you said was, what do they say? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And Mia goes, it's not like that in the mouth. What happens in the mouth does not just stay in the mouth. And that becomes the issue.
Las Vegas.
It is not Las Vegas, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I love that. I love that. So that is a fun fact that I know you say that you're not very good with conversational fun facts, but I don't know. I've sat at many a dinner tables with you and had many a glasses of wine with you. And we always seem to have a very delightful conversation. So I don't know if it's just we're amongst a like company or what it is, but that is some news you can use, Dr. Mia, I will say.
Thank you. And I hope much like your listeners, but you and I always like to talk nerdy. So if the folks who are listening like that too, then I hope that's a fun fact for them to take home, maybe not to cocktail parties, but certainly to their next dental related gathering, perio related gathering.
There you go. Some news you can use and impress your friends. Remind them if they don't brush their teeth in 24 hours, they're going to have more microbiota inside their mouth, more bacteria build up in their mouth than there are human beings on the planet. I love it. Thank you so much, Dr. Mia, for joining me for our 100th episode celebration. And thank you so much to our listeners at home. Thank you so much for joining me, Katrina Sanders, for another episode of Fast Facts Perio Edition, 100th episode, this time with Dr. Mia Geisinger. Thank you.
Thank you.
This has been another episode of Fast Facts Perio Edition with Katrina Sanders. Please feel free to reach me on Instagram at The Dental Wine Genist or on my website, www.katrinasanders.com. Cheers.